welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I hope all of you are doing great. So in today's video, we'll learn how you can take the full advantage of a bull market, how you can position yourself in such a way when the market actually starts going up, you'll be able to take the full advantage. And for that, we'll look at few examples, we'll look at the past, and we'll analyze how we can how and what things we can do right now that we can take the full advantage of when the market finally starts going up, when the bull market finally comes. So let's get started with the video. And standard disclaimer: any stock that I will be discussing here is not a recommendation. Please consult your financial advisor before taking any trade or making any investment. So let's get started. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the technical analysis, or just an overview of the Nifty Midcap 100 index. And I'm going to show you what I'm trying to say here through the charts, right? So as you can see, we have been in a sideways market from a very long time, right? So for it has been almost a year, and the market is still yet to touch the previous all-time high that was touched back in September 2024. And since then, the market has been very choppy. The money making has been a bit difficult, but as you can see, it's still a very good kind of a structure, as you can see, right? And if I go in a completely technical kind of a term, it also is kind of forming a head and shoulders, right? A continuation pattern, inverse head and shoulders, right? So but let's forget that for now. Just look at the overall market, and let's go in the past. Let's look a few years back what happened, right? So if you remember, if you have been in market long enough, then you must have seen this phase as well, of starting from October 2021 and staying till May 2023. So kind of a 2 years kind of a phase, right? So during that period also, the market was very choppy. Making money was kind of very difficult. But when the market finally crossed the previous high that was reached back in October 2021, it started going up, and the bull market came, and the market gave really nice returns. On the index level itself, the market gave 82%, especially the mid cap or the small caps, right? And if we go further back, then you can see there was this phase as well where the market was very, but this was slightly different because this was a downward phase. It was not a consolidation phase, from where the market started falling back in uh, January 2018, and it stayed till March 2020. So 2 year kind of a phase, right? And then the COVID crash, which gave really nice opportunities. And let's go a little further back as well. Then you'll see this phase of the market from 2015 to 2016. Then also the market consolidated. Money making was kind of very difficult. And if you go back again, then you can see the phase of the market from 2010 to 2014, right? This 4 year phase, this whole phase, again, the money making was very difficult. So what I'm basically trying to say with these examples is that market never stays the same, right? So market always goes through different phases. There's a phase of decline, there's a phase of consolidation, there's a phase of pause, and there's a phase of the bull market. So currently we are in a phase of consolidation, of a pause, right? Because from the last 1 year, the market hasn't been moving that much. It's just going up and down. There was a slight decline in between of 10, 20, 20 something percent, but that was also a very nice opportunity. So before the market again resumes its journey, crosses the previous high of around 60,925 on the index level, and resumes its journey, we need to position ourselves in such a way that we can take the full advantage of this market, right? So I'll show you some ways. I'll discuss about some things that you guys can do, that I'll be doing, you guys can do, that we can position ourselves in such a way to take full advantage of this, right? So one part is people who invest directly in stocks, right? So let's first talk about that. So first being direct equity, right? So people who like to invest directly, like, so they have the liberty to research stocks. They are well aware about the market, right? And they can take the most advantage of the bull market, because individual stocks give much better moves as compared to the index as a whole, right? So what those guys can do, what you and me can do, is that we can simply take advantage of the multiple tools that are available for us, like this Tijori Market Monitor or the Chart Maze Sector Analysis, right? So whenever you want to make money in the market, whenever you want to find right stocks, you have to follow this approach, right? First, you should always look at the strongest sectors, right? Strongest sectors. Then what you should be doing is that second step is finding the strongest stocks, strongest stocks, right? And how you can do that, that is what I'm going to teach you, right? First, what you'll have to do is just choose any tool you like, right, which can give you an overview of the sectors, overview of the market, right? So I I myself, sorry for that, I myself use these tools, right? This chart maze, sector analysis, and Tijori market monitor. Then what I like to do is that I would like to see how the sectors are doing over a period of last 1 month and last 3 months, right? So for that, you can simply just look at this, the performance of the indices, different sectors during the last 3 months and during the last 1 month. So one thing that stood out for me is that the auto OEMs, right? The automobile manufacturers, right? So in the free version, Tijori is only showing only 3 stocks, right? For that, you have this. If you have the premium version of this chart maze, right? So you can use this tool of market analytics, right? But market breadth and market indices are these are the two free tools that you can use, right? So again, auto, which stood out for me was the sector that was doing really well, right? So once you know about the sector, you can simply just uh, apply a filter here as well on the your free screener of TradingView as well. You can simply apply a filter here where you can simply select the sector that you want to look for, like the auto stocks, right? So I have a watch list for all these. So what I did was, first I saw that the auto as a sector whole is doing good. Then I went to find individual stocks which are doing really well, one of them being the Eicher Motors. So you can, one thing that you can clearly see is that it was going against the market, right? The market has been very choppy, and on the other side, this one was continuously going up, right? So one of the strongest stocks. On the other hand, Hero. So this was also a very interesting one, because when I was looking at this one around this level, right? So I saw that it was showing a nice reversal kind of a thing, right? So the market, the price was continuously declining. It broke the downward, its downward trend line. Then it consolidated a bit, and then again it consolidated a bit, and since then it has been going well. You look at Electra Electric, you look at Force Motor. This was like an outlier, like completely. It was like completely moving against the overall market, right? You can clearly see that was because individually the company was doing well, and so, right. So this is how you will be looking at the stocks that you want to trade, right? Because once the sector is doing well, even the laggards in that sector will be doing well. Like look at the TVS Motors. Even from a short-term trading point of view, you can simply see when the stock gapped up, that would have been your entry point, and you would have easily gotten like 10-12% in a large cap, right? Second thing, what you can do is that you can keep checking on this from time to time, see what kind of sectors are doing well. And one opposite approach that you can uh, you know take is that look at the sector which has declined the most during this phase, right? And keep an eye on those if you get any kind of a reversal there, right? Because sometimes what happens is that reversals are very fast, right? So the stock might be declining continuously, right? But when the market improves, the sudden reversal give you really strong moves. Like for example, if we look at Ola Electric, right? So these are some very interesting examples, right? So this was also continuously declining. See, I have marked VWAP also from different points, and suddenly the price reversed, and look how beautifully it went up. Another example I have for that is Pesalo, which again was continuously declining, made base here, and then there was a sudden reversal that made me a quick gain of 20-25% in a few days, in a matter of few days, right? So that is something that you can do. Another approach that I am taking during this market, where the overall, the broader market is just consolidating, not doing much. What I'm doing at this point is just collecting as much as units of mid cap or a small cap mutual fund, right? So what I'm trying to do, whatever salary I get, whatever savings I make, I'm trying to put them, most of them, in a mutual fund, right? So it could be any mutual fund, right? I won't be recommending any names for that. You can choose. There are multiple online tools that you can use for that. So what I'm doing right now is that I want to fully take the advantage of when the market finally starts going up, is that I want to build a good mutual fund corpus as well. So what I'm doing is, whenever the market declines 5-10%, whenever there's a decline of 5-10% from the current levels, let's say when currently the market is at the mid cap, because I'm doing SIP and lump sum in the mid cap mutual fund. So let's say the mid cap mutual fund, mid cap index is at 58,000. So let's say if it declines 5-6% from like 58,000 levels to 54-55,000, what I like to do is, like, I like to add some money, not the usual SIP, but a little bit of lump sum. Then once the market actually starts going up, then you'll have enough units, you'll have enough corpus, and that doubles very quickly. Then the compounding kicks in. Because why I'm doing this is because I did this last time, and that was like, it made me super good gains. Like, at that time I was doing in a flexi cap fund, sipping in a flexi cap fund. Now I've shifted to a mid cap and a small cap, right? But I'm using the same strategy, right? So I'm just collecting. And the ones who like to do the fundamental analysis and all of those things, they can simply take advantage of the many different tools, like a screener or many other tools available, right? And many good YouTube channels where you can find some really good, interesting ideas, right? So you can, like, I've made 2-3 different screeners for myself, like a potential multi-baggers and all. So I can simply look at the companies which are looking really interesting on paper, then maybe study a bit, get some ideas from Twitter and uh, different sources from like Value Picker and all, and study those names, see if some of them are looking good, looking reasonable at this price point, and so. And then you can simply, what you can do is, you can take the advantage of technicals, you can take the advantage of fundamentals, combine them, see, like, you can make a list of stocks that you are really interested in when the market finally starts going up. Then what you can do is, if the technical aligns with the fundamental ideas that you have chosen, then what you can do is, you can use the advantage of technicals and add, like, you can buy them the higher quantity, like you can increase your position sizing based on the technicals on different levels. When let's say when a finally breakout happens, that is the point where you can suddenly increase the quantity, and you'll be able to get a good return in a short term as well, right? So this is something that I wanted to talk about, that because I was just looking at the market, and see, it is a very interesting phase in the market right now. It requires patience, but it is a very interesting phase, and this is the time when the seeds are sown for a bull market, right? So I want all of you guys to take the advantage of this market and be prepared for what's about to come. Goodbye and have a nice Sunday. I'll see you in the next one.